Welcome to the flowerschool.com video library. I'm Leanne Kessler, Director of the Floral Design Institute, here to share with you our latest, the modern Christmas centerpiece. By now, in December, we professional florists are getting a little tired of the traditions. The pine, the fir, the cedar, our hands are sore, they're covered with pitch. If I saw another carnation or a chrysanthemum, oh, those snowflake chrysanthemums, they made me crazy. The laterals were so short and, they just never quite went where I want them. So sometimes you just want to say, no more. I don't want to do that. And create a centerpiece that's totally different, something new, something contemporary, and that's what I want to share with you today. Giving up the traditional flowers and foliage doesn't mean you have to give up the traditional red and green. There are so many flowers that come in red and green that are fabulous. Cymbidiums, roses, hydrangeas, and yes, even carnations in this wonderful minty green color. And then accessories. Let's step outside of the box and look beyond the traditional Christmas plaid ribbon. What about the fabulous rainbow foam? It comes in a cherry red mixed with the green flowers. Ooh la la. And then more fun with green would be that chartreuse green, very contemporary, not evergreen, very bright, festive. The flat wire actually comes in a variety of different colors. Gold, red, copper, and then this fabulous chartreuse green. What a great way to update a centerpiece. And then one of my new favorites, the mega beads. The wired beads from the Oasis Company. They come in this fabulous green. They do come in other colors as well. Got white, silver, there's an opalescent, lots to choose from. But with this, the beads, the wire, the rainbow foam, we're going to have a fabulous centerpiece. I've soaked the rainbow foam with flower food and set it in. One thing you have to be careful with is to make sure that you keep ample water. It's such a dense foam that it can dry out and then the flowers don't last as long. So filling a bit of the reservoir with water, and then as I add flowers it'll displace and it'll rise up, but making sure and keeping that nice and full so that they will last as long as possible. Then my first step is to place the beads around this like a garland. Easiest is just to take them and using a hairpin wire, pin it right into the foam. And then bringing it on around, pinning it in another spot, letting it come around, and pinning it once again. And then bringing it, pinning it on this side. So I'm pinning it once on each side of the cube. Then clipping off my starting point. Don't need that long wire. And once you have the base there, then you can bring it and just hook it on itself. Bring it around, winding it. And then when you get to the end, give it a cut and wrap it around the preceding ball, and it's ready to go. Flowers next. Maybe I'll start with a big, beautiful hydrangea, giving it a cut, pulling off some of the foliage so it doesn't need as much water to survive, and then dipping it in a little bit of the alum. Oh, spilling it all over my table. Dipping it into the alum. It'll last so much better. And then inserting it into the foam, getting it nice and deep. You want it to be down into the water of the foam so it doesn't dry out. Maybe another hydrangea. Cutting, removing the foliage. And dipping it. And then once again, making sure it goes in nice and deep. And keeping the stems in the center. You don't want them to come out and spoil the red of the foam. Maybe carnation. Grouping them together for some drama. maybe one over here. Finding the perfect hole. There we go. And then I've got some beautiful green roses. Tucking those in as well. Covering the surface, creating a tapestry of color. A few more of the green roses. Bring it to the opposite side so that I keep it balanced. And then in the center, bringing in some of the red. Not perfectly centered, slightly off-center to add that little brilliant zing of Christmas time red and bring the red from the foam up into the bouquet. The Cymbidium orchids, to use the whole spike wouldn't quite work. So I use individual blooms, pulling them from the bottom. Looking for any damage. That one's not very pretty, so I'll skip that. Go there. That's a nice one too. Then the stems are too short and a little soft to try to get into the foam. So you want to give it a nice cut. And then using a water tube filled with water, give that a slice so that it doesn't work as a tourniquet. And slide the orchid right down in. Then you can place that down into the foam, getting a beautiful addition to the design. Find another pretty one. There we go. A little bit right there. Facing them to look at each other like they're talking. I was always taught orchids are social creatures. You want them to be able to face each other and say hello. Last touch is the flat wire, which I use like a ribbon. Just peel off some and give it a cut. It's easier to work with it removed from the roll. Then using a smooth edge needle nose pliers like we use in the advanced class. You don't want the serrated because it will crimp. So the smooth edge, and then grabbing it and start making your little squirrely, swirling thing coming around. And then the beauty of flat wire is that it has this broader surface. So rather than just leaving it spiraled, take it and give it a little turn, winding it on itself so you get more of the edge showing as well. Then give it another little squiggle and insert that right down into the foam. And repeat that again. Give it a cut, smooth edge, swizzle it around, then give it a twist so that it's got more of the surface area exposed, giving a little more interest to it, and around. Ends up looking like spirals of Christmas candy or Christmas ribbon. Ah, so festive. Setting it down in. And then repeat that until you get bored making swizzles. And then last, I want to add just a few Galix leaves to bring in some of that darker green, just to brighten the difference between the light green, dark green, and red. Add just a little bit of enhancement. Not too much, because I don't want to cover all my balls, but just kind of winding it together, and then I can set it down into the foam. Let it expand outward. Maybe just one more on this other side. Again, just curling it a little bit, finding a hole, and squeezing it down in. Traditional red and green with a contemporary twist. The Christmas centerpiece certainly doesn't need to be boring. It can be modern, hip, and happening. For more creative inspiration, check out our website. We have lots of fun Christmas videos for you to watch at flowerschool.com. If you've got questions or need to find something that I've used or just wonder, what exactly were you doing? Don't hesitate to contact us. You can reach us by telephone at 1-800-819-8089. Or if email is easier, use my personal email. It's Leanne, Leanne, at floraldesigninstitute.com. For now, happy holidays to you. Happy designing with a contemporary twist. Have fun and do something you love.